What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to the brother Earl for the donation to the channel via the PayPal, and he had a video request, and he wanted me to compare some of the greats of yesteryear. Well, not necessarily compare, but he brought up some of the greats of yesteryear and asked me, like, how would they play in today's game, or, you know, how do I think they would fit into today's game? So I think it'd be better, instead of me talking about I think it's 4 of those guys, I think instead of me doing all 4 in one video, it'd be better if I just did a video a day on each one so the video doesn't run too long. So I'm going to do a video today on Earl the Pearl Monroe, right? So he asked me, like, how do I think Earl would play in today's game, you know, and of course, Earl the Pearl Monroe is one of the great ball handlers of all time. You know, I would say, before the 90s, you could really arguably say he was a top 1 or 2 all-time ball handler. He's the first guy to really, I mean, a lot of people like to bring up Pistol Pete Maravich, but Earl the Pearl Monroe was the first player to really introduce the street ball style into the NBA. And initially it was frowned upon before Pete Maravich made it magically popular. I mean, that's not no slight on Pete Maravich, it's just a slight on society, you know what I'm saying? Earl Pearl Monroe initially played for, well, actually before that in college, I believe he played for Winston-Salem, I think it was. And then, of course, he entered the NBA. I think it was the I think it was the 1960s. I'm trying to think, was it 68, 69 season? Or 67, 68? One of those years. I'm a little bit rusty with Earl the Pearl. Let's just say late 60s. He entered the NBA. Initially, he played for the then, I think they might have been the Baltimore Bullets when he first joined them. And in his rookie year, I think he averaged like 24 points a game, had one of the great rookie campaigns in history. Probably like a top 15 rookie campaign of all time, right? In that season, he dropped 56 points, which for a very long time, for like almost 40 years, was the record for most points scored in the game as a Bullet, until Gilbert Arenas broke it when he scored 60 against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. Matter of fact, I want to say Earl the Pearl Monroe dropped that 56 against the Lakers. I want to say, but anyway, man, today's game. I don't know if there's anybody that really ever played the game quite like Earl the Pearl Monroe. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the highest leaper. He wasn't the most explosive dude. Wasn't the most athletic. But he was he had a variety. He had a varied and diverse set of moves on the court. He was crafty. He was methodical. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he was very fluid on the court. And I guess in some ways, if I had to compare him to anybody, a little bit, SGA. You know, SGA is not the flashiest dude, right? But he gets his points. And You know what I'm saying? He's going to be able to get his points off. He's going to be able to score. He knows when to drive and how to get into the gaps, and uh, he knows where on the court he's most effective. He's mastered that aspect of the game. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Earl Monroe going to come out here and drop 30 points a game, but he's definitely a team player. Because you got to remember, when Earl the Pearl Monroe was was traded to the New York Knicks, a lot of people thought that was a wasted trade because they're like, man, this guy is a ball hog and all he cares about is scoring. And he's not a fit for the Knicks because the Knicks are all about teamwork and selflessness. But Earl the Pearl Monroe worked. It worked. He he um, he changed his role to more of a, you know what I'm saying, he focused more on defense. He took his spots when it came to scoring. Um, and, his scoring average dropped down from like 25, 26 to more around 17 and 18 points in the game. But his efficiency remained, if not went up a little bit. And he pretty much surprised people by his selflessness and his effectiveness on defense. And he won a championship with the New York Knicks. So he definitely showed that he was a championship player when surrounded with talent on his team. So that's similar to a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would say that also Earl the Pearl Monroe was clutch. And, he was strong, deceptively strong for his size. I think he was 6'3", 185 pounds, which was a standard size for a guard at that time. But, he was still deceptively strong. And I tend to think if he was playing today, his size would kind of hurt him a little bit. I don't think he would be a shooting guard. I think he'd be a point guard. I think he would probably, man, it's hard to say. I think if he was playing today, Earl the Pearl Monroe, right? I think that his game would be a mix of mid-range jumpers. I think he would work very well with a talented big man and play the pick and roll. And even if the big man could be he's a passer as well, he played well with the pick and roll, the pick and pop himself. And, you know what I'm saying? Any situation where he's not forced to be the number one scoring option and he's playing with another talented player, like I said, in particular, if it's a talented big, like I can see this guy playing well with a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I could see him playing with Giannis in today's game, maybe averaging 19 points a game and maybe 6.5 assists, maybe 7 assists, 2 steals, all-star level player. I think Earl the Pearl Monroe would be more like that, man. But amazing ball handling ability, though. You know what I'm saying? With the freedom these guys have today, yeah, I think he'd be an amazing all-star level player. I'm not saying I'm not going to say, he's going to score 40 points a game. No. I don't think so. But, yeah, I still think he'd be great. Absolutely. If Trae Young had people fooled and thinking that he's a superstar, then a guy like Earl the Pearl Monroe would absolutely be a great player, man. I think he'd be a championship level player, too. Fundamentally sound the way he is. Absolutely. But anyway, just want to do a video on him. I'm going to do a video tomorrow on Pistol Pete. Tell me what you guys think.